Hey everybody, welcome to the Dream Achievers Weekly Call. I'm glad you are either here in person or watching the replay. Those of us that show up, go up, right? And I know it keeps me accountable, and I really hope that you, whether you're joining live or live or watch the replay, I really hope you get something out of this. So thank you for joining us. Hey Lisa.
Hello.
All right, well, let's start out with some introductions. Who wants to shout business related, please? Anyone? What look was that, Lisa Burns?
You said introductions, Victor, or
I meant victories. Oh, okay. I'm like, what did I say wrong? She gave me that little.
I was like, we all know each other, I
I
think.
know. I have on here welcome introductions, and oh man, I don't even need to look at that. But what victories do you have to share business related, please? Big or small? Twy.
I had an in-person team meeting the other day, and 3 people were able to come. One had a celebration of life, so they couldn't come, and another one was sick. So I would have had 5 team members, but 3 of them at least came, and we did a lot of answering questions of one was a new one, and some have been here before and just didn't understand some of the things. So it was nice to get in person and answer the questions.
Congratulations, Twyla. That's a huge victory. Good for you. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share? Okay, I'll share then. I am always continue to add more to my calendar because for some reason, some months, it's like, wow, that looks great. And then you have 2 people reschedule and you're like, what the heck? That's not my plan. Anyway, so I just do the old fashioned, start reaching out to people. So today I reached out to 6, and I'm happy to say I booked an in-person tasting, which I planted the seed about a month ago, not till the end of April. And then I have a maybe online party for April. So I don't know what works for you guys, but I just keep notes, and then it's a drip method. Like if I'm in the need of bookings, I'll do like 10 a day or 10 every 15 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you just need to reach out to people. That's our job. So anyway, that's my victory. Anybody else have a victory they wanted to share?
I mean, I've been doing the same sort of thing, getting back into the flow, and
Yeah.
I've been getting people saying, "Hey," because I was kind of doing the booking blitz, and then I didn't get people maybe answering in that time frame, but I had somebody answer today and say, "I can do a party maybe closer to June or something," and
Yeah.
people are they're maybe not ready now, but they're gonna be doing a party eventually.
That's awesome. And do you guys remember what Tammy Tosti said last week? Kind of in regards to that? No, she said, are you saying no, not now, or no, not ever? And that's a good one in person, especially when they're like, no, thanks. And you say, are you saying no, not right now, or no, not ever? At least you know where they're at.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's move on to announcements. Well, we have our winner on. Lisa Burns won $25 Visa gift card, which I will mail to you, Lisa Burns. As my mom would say, this was like 40 years ago, don't spend it all on alcohol.
I'll try.
Like she gave me $20 one weekend to go back to college, and $20 was a big deal back then. But anyway, so that was our March Money Madness, and our goal was a minimum of 25, and guess how many we hit? 25. So we got to spin the wheel, and Lisa got to win. So that's pretty fun. Sale on products. I think you guys all on here are aware of our products that are on sale, so you know where to look for that. Some of them, of course, they're just trying to get rid of the old label. And then some things, I think they're just kind of cleaning out the warehouse. So take advantage of that. And I know on the Dream page, we have the enjoy by dates. As a reminder, last day for order pickups to place an order. That's for those of us that have the wonderful ability to pick up, but not much longer. March 19th by 10 a.m. you must have your order placed and then pick it up no later than March 29th. And then also to remind you that the Facebook third party, as we know it today, like with SynShare and social or Get Social, is probably changing, and that will come into effect on 22nd. Becky Launder, I think I'd shared it on the team page, and I know there's something to Get Social. And along that lines, I don't know, do any of you follow Brenda Stir?
I do,
Lisa,
yes.
do you?
I
That's
do.
right. Okay. Today she shared that she's closing her business the end of March. Did you know that, Lisa?
Oh,
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she the Elite Suite will be closing March 31st. She after 10 years, basically her mother died, was it unexpectedly or rather quickly? And then she also has cancer, and I'm not sure if it's breast cancer or what.
I did hear
And
about the cancer, yeah.
yeah, is it is it breast cancer?
I
Breast
think
cancer,
that's what she
Lisa?
said, yeah.
Yeah. And I know her husband's older. He's not old, but he's a little bit older, so probably well established. They have 2 children with this marriage. Anyway, she probably decided, you know what, I need a little break. So she's still going to keep her public Elite Suite Facebook page alive, but maybe she just needs a break. So say an extra prayer for her, because that couldn't have been an easy decision for her to step down and close the Elite Suite. So if you guys are a part of it, or want to look back, I know some things will still be available to the end of March. So I just wanted to let you know. And I did call Jackie Pitco, because Jackie's then, kind of knows all that kind of stuff, because she's one of the people, and she didn't know any more than I did. So she was, I'm surprised as well. Any other announcements, Lisa? Did you want to share anything?
Do you want me to share about that?
I
I just got your
do.
message when I was logging on, so.
I know, sorry. I meant to reach out to you this morning and I forgot. So yeah,
that's
you
okay.
should.
That's okay. So, if you are within the vicinity of me, 200 miles, the invitation is gonna go out for, but mark your calendars for April 24th. For a Jill visit. She's coming all the way to Glenwood from Alexandria. Location to be determined, we're still working on that. So that'll be announced when it's finalized, but from 5 until 6:30, there will be a leader dinner and meeting. And then from 7 to 9, there will be a training for all consultants. So hopefully many of you will be coming to my area.
Hey, that's awesome. So 5 to 6:30 will be a leader dinner, so like leader and above.
That's my understanding.
Oh, interesting. I don't ever remember them offering a dinner. Well, I'm sure we have to pay for it, but that's fine.
It's on your own. Yes, dinner
Yeah.
is on your own.
But it's still going to be organized. And
Yep.
then 7 to 9.
Yeah.
Wow. Go Lisa, go Jill. That'll be awesome. So again, that's April 24th. And I'm assuming, Lisa, you'll share it as it gets closer, or do you know details? I know they're all up in EAC right now, so.
Right. It's kind of on hold until Friday because that's their priority right now. So Stephanie was gonna get back to me on the location, so.
But at least we know the date, so
Right. Yep.
mark your calendar. So congratulations, that's a really big deal. And there's 3 other locations, Lisa, I think. If you have any team members, I know I posted it on the team page. Out in those areas, they are also welcome, to go and attend. So super exciting. So more information, but at least you have the date. All right, well, guess what? Well, I guess, is there any other announcements that I neglected to share? Okay, then Lisa is going to do the product knowledge segment. Go ahead, Lisa Burns, please. Gold leader from Glenwood, Minnesota.
Yeah. So in my 21 years, I've used a lot of the products, needless to say, and our main use is of the seasoning. So I wanted to talk about one that I recently have discovered / fallen in love with, started using more. And that is the Italian garlic. And I chose this before they put some of these products on special, but this happens to be one of them that is $1 off. So still in the old label, but let's move those so we can see some new labels on them. But that one is a blend of garlic, onion, parsley, red bell pepper, chives, and spices. So a lot of flavor in that one bottle. Many different ways that you can use this one. Naturally, garlic bread is the first thing that comes to mind, and probably the most most popular, common way for it to be used. But you can also add it to your pastas, soups, sauces, saute mushrooms in this one. There's a recipe on the website for Italian pasta salad, but we have started using this one simply on frozen pizza. So has anybody sprinkled this on a frozen pizza or homemade pizza too, but frozen pizza? I mean, yum. I actually had a customer ask me if I had done that, and I'm like, that's something I haven't. So we tried it one night, and Mark even said, yeah, you can do that again. So it adds so much flavor to something just as simple as sprinkling it on your frozen pizza. So give that one a try. That's one that I also like to use it on my turkey for Thanksgiving. I will use 2 tablespoons of the Italian garlic seasoning, along with 2 tablespoons of the rustic herb on the turkey with the roasted garlic oil, and it's fabulous flavor. So that is my spotlight on the Italian garlic seasoning.
I love it. And my new quote from Lisa Burns is, I mean, yum.
Yes.
So you could add that, I mean, yum.
Yum.
I love it. I love
like
it. I
it.
love
I
it.
like
Well,
it.
thank you, Lisa, for sharing the Italian garlic seasoning
And
and
if you
bringing
haven't put it on your mashed potatoes yet, you have to.
Mm, I love it as well. So thank you for bringing that to life. Well, I noticed that we have our guest speaker down below me anyway. So I'm excited that Adrienne Swanson is going to talk Bravo Bucks and Jaunt with Jill. Adrienne is a fellow Diamond leader. She's a friend. We talk on a regular basis. Mother of 2, travel goddess, and I don't want to say owner, creator of Yo Adrienne Yo Adrienne Talks, a mindset podcast. And if you haven't tuned into that, please do. So Yo Adrienne Talks mindset podcast. So please give a Dream Achievers welcome to Adrienne Swanson.
Oh, thanks, Sherry. Well, thanks guys for having me. I'm not sure, how much you guys know. So I would like just like how many of us are like super confident in understanding Bravo Bucks? Yeah, okay. How many are like, what are Bravo Bucks?
No, we're better than that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, I had a lot of people who were kind of like, I've heard the term, but I don't know anything. So I
Sure.
just want to know how deep I need to go, because I
get
did a
it.
training with my team, basically to try to help people see the benefits of Bravo Bucks and how you can use those Bravo Bucks to go on the jaunt with Jill and Gary. So, the first thing I'm going to ask, like, all of you, I would like you to raise your hand if you agree with me. Do you think Tastefully Simple is amazing and has something to offer many different people in many different ways? Okay.
Hands up, hands
Awesome.
up,
I like
hands
it. I
up.
like it. And do you feel like having a consumable product is beneficial to your business? Okay.
Definitely.
Good. All right. Good deal. Because for me, like when you start looking at Bravo Bucks as a whole, the main thing that we need to be looking at is the sponsoring side of it. The sales side of it's incredible. You're going to get points for that as well. So do most of you understand the 250 equals 3 Bravo Bucks? Are we that far along, or are there some that don't know? Okay. So, the thing with that is it sounds very small, but the thing is the small leads to the big. So, I definitely love the $3 at 250, and we need to watch our sales, right? Because there's a couple times I've been at like, 3,246, and I'm like, well, that was dumb. And so, definitely watch, because every 250 you get 3 more in a month span. So it's not cumulative. So, once that month's over, and there is a tracker in your reporting. So if you haven't seen that yet, please make sure you go there. It shows you exactly what you've earned each month. So that's incredible. And it also shows you what you've earned in sponsoring. But this is what a lot of people on my team we're like missing the boat in the fact that you have to have $4,250 in sales to make 50 Bravo bucks, right? Or you sponsor one person and they have one party. One person, one party. So I want to ask you, since we all know we love our food and we love the money and we love our friends. I mean, like Sherry said, like there's a friendship here. I never would have met Sherry in the middle of nowhere, Minnesota, down here from St. Louis. Like this business brings people together. Or Rebecca picking me up on the side of the highway in South Dakota. I mean, you just never know who you're going to meet and how that's going to work. So I just want you guys to know that offering this to people, it could be the greatest thing you do for someone, right? And so I want you to keep that in your head, because so many of us let our fear of what they're going to say to us or how they're going to perceive us get in the way of the fact that we have this amazing gift to offer someone. So not only amazing food, not only like Lisa just showed us products that make everything taste unbelievable, yum, right? But we also have friendships and personal growth and things that you can't even begin to understand until you're in this business. And so I really want you guys to think about that, like having to be able to share that. And I actually just got off my team call, so I'm going to steal a little bit from Connie Ashburn here, because she was coming on to inspire my team to set maybe a little bit bigger goals, because she was talking about how, as we all know, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results, right? And so many of us get that way in our business, that we just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and we're not reaching for something. And I did also love that she said a lot of people won't set goals because they don't like the word or they don't want to say it out loud. But how can you ever be successful if you don't set a goal? Like if you never, ever set a goal, when do you get to go, hey, Adrienne, nice job, pat me on the back, right? Like when do you get to do that if you're never setting a goal? And so with the Bravo bucks, there are the bonus bucks, right? So when you hit, sorry, I just had something pop up. Hold on. My previous meeting was recording. Okay. Am I still here? Can you guys see me? Okay. All this stuff was popping up. Thanks. Okay. So
We can hear you.
Okay, good. I got it. Okay. So with the Bravo bucks, when you earn so much, you get the bonus bucks, right? So when you earn 300 Bravo bucks, you get how many? Who knows?
500.
Right. 500 bonus bucks. So that means you get $800 total, right? So you got to remember, you get the 300 and you get the 500. So then what's the second level? You hit 600, you get
1,000.
1,000. I saw you, Twyla. $1,000. And then for just 300 more at 900, you get 2,000, right? So I want you guys, and then again, 1,200, you get 4,000. That's $5,200, you guys, $5,200. Let's think about that. Is any of us going to be sad if we get an extra $5,200? I don't think so. I don't think so. But we have to set goals in order to get there. And the cool thing, this is what I talk to my team about, is that you don't even have to have a certain amount of sales. You could do it all with sponsoring, which is even cooler, because before, when we would earn a trip, there was a minimum sales and then sponsoring on top of it. You could just sponsor. And so that's what Connie was talking to my team about, is being able to create, like we have this foodie community, right? Like we love food, whether you're like me and you hate to cook and you want to make food really quick and easy and taste delicious, or you love to cook and you're in there just cooking up stuff like crazy and you love it. We have this food community where we can all be able to help one another come up with ideas and make dinner simple, right? Like every day people are thinking about, what am I having for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? It doesn't matter who you are. At some point you have to eat and you're like, what am I going to eat? We have the solution for that. So Connie put a challenge out to my team that we have 4 months left in this year, right? The rest of this year. So what if you sponsor 12 people? What do you even realize if you sponsor 12 people and each one of them had one kitchen gathering, right? One party just to show the food and see what they think, you would automatically from that achieve level 2, you'd have $1,600 by doing that, by sponsoring 12. And so, she was kind of talking about how a lot of people were like, well, I haven't even sponsored 2 this year. So how am I going to do 12 in 4 months, you crazy lady? Right. Well, they didn't say that to her, but I always make things correct. And that's what they would be saying in their head. But I think it goes back to, right? It goes back to the definition of insanity, right? Like we have to set new goals. We have to try new things. We have to go out, meet people. And she said, what if you talk to 5 people a day about the opportunity you have? I always do 1 a day, but I was like, really? I talk to 5 people a day. Do I share what I do? Do I share the opportunity in my business? No, not always. I pick one person, but she was like, think of the difference in your business if you were talking to 5 people a day about what you did. What do you think that would change? Right? How many people do you think you could bring on in 4 months when you're talking to 5 people a day about your business? It could change everything. And no one ever goes from sponsoring 2 a year to 12 in 4 months without changing their intention, without changing what they're doing. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting the results you've got. So this was not what I had planned to talk about, but when she said it, it all hit me too, because all of us get in our business and we start getting a little complacent, right? Like we just, oh, this is what I do. I sell this and I do, even me, I talk to 1 person a day. Why have I never said talk to 2 or 3? I don't know, because I just did 1 a day. Like it just was what I did. But her challenging me that like every time your business isn't going the way you want, you have to take a step back and decide what action can I take to make my business go the way it was when it was thriving, or what I was doing when I started, or what was working when I was super excited about my business. So I know this isn't totally about Bravo Bucks, which is what we're supposed to talk about, but it kind of is, because if you guys start sponsoring, those Bravo Bucks are going to add up so fast. And when you do that and you have $1,600 with no sales, and just from sponsoring, you add your sales onto that, you easily can go on this jaunt with Jill without even having to think about it, right? And that's what we want. We don't want to have to throw our own money into it, because there is that option, right? That's what people are loving now. There's no like, if you don't earn it, you can't go. You just might have to pay a little bit, right? Which is okay. But let's just not pay a little bit and let's just make it, right? So I just really wanted to point out that sponsoring aspect. That $50 adds up so fast. It's like $4,200 in sales. Think about that. How long does it normally take you to sell $4,200 in sales? Even if it's 1 month, well, you could sponsor 1 person a week, and that'd be like doing 4 months worth of work in 1 month, right? So, I know that's kind of like, a little bit different than where we were going, but that's what I was looking at. I was like, man, when you really look at Bravo Bucks, how quickly they can stack up with sponsoring. But then when you challenge yourself to sponsor a little bit more than you've ever thought of, something that seems out of reach, like Connie said, even if you fall to 6 people, are you going to be sad? God, no. You're going to be that much further than you would have been, right? And the things that come along with creating a team, I look at like my business, and there are friendships I would never have. There are people that I've watched personally grow to the point they're happier with where they're at in life, and they've seen that they can help other people do the same thing, and like the joy it's brought them, and the happiness and everything. There's so much in our business to be excited for, and so much of it happens when you're leading others to those goals that they have, those amazing things that they want. And there are so many people, you guys, sitting in their houses, not able to pay their bills, sitting in their houses, wishing they had a community of positive women that would support them. There are so many people looking for what we have to offer, and people aren't offering it to them. And that's what I want you to do, is flip that mindset. Instead of worrying about what they think about you, worry about what would happen if you didn't give them that opportunity. If you didn't ask them. This is the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me, which is why, Sherry, I have my podcast, because I don't care what direct sales business you're in. When you have positive people all moving in the same direction. It's unbelievable what you can do and what other people can do. So how many of you think that you could change something in your business to get more Bravo bucks between now and June?
Yep.
Like,
Yay.
does anybody have a suggestion that they think that they could do with their business? Because I think we learn from each other. Does anybody have a suggestion of something that they just thought of while we were talking that might help them earn a couple more Bravo bucks?
I think you got to be conscious of your sales so that you don't miss out on those obvious ones. Like if you're 10, 20, $50 from the next level, you got to make that happen and not let that go.
Right. And, you know, there's another big part of that with the leadership aspect. Are you making sure your teams are understanding that? Because that's another thing that I didn't recognize. Like, I'm watching it for myself, but I mean, our teams don't, you know, like if we're sometimes like, oh, we don't really know where we're at. What do you think the people who aren't putting as much time into it? Right. So that's a great point. Watching our sales and helping other people realize, hey, you can have a few more dollars. You can make a little bit more money, which will grab those Bravo bucks faster. That's a great point. Anybody else?
I would say just asking. I mean, I get in a funk too, where I'm busy like host coaching and busy booking parties or working with team members or getting ready for an event or whatever. And I'm like, I haven't sponsored yet this month. How many people have I asked? And if that answer is 0, then you know what? That's totally on me, which is the case. You know, it's like when I shared in the beginning of the call, Adrienne wasn't on, but I said, I need to book some more parties. So what do I need to do? I need to ask. So I need to sponsor some more people to get that Punta Cana trip for free or pay off my cabin or buy new furniture or whatever you want. Are you asking?
Yeah.
And if you're telling yourself right now, I can't do that, then you're right. So what can we say to ourselves to say, I can do it? Do you have any advice on that, Adrienne? Because I think a lot of people go, well, Adrienne, you can do that. You're so bubbly and you're so sold on it and you're so blah, blah, blah. But it's not going to work for me.
Well, I actually shared this story with my team because I was doing the same thing. I was selling. I was never going to be a leader. I had a couple people like, you know, talk to a couple people that never followed through. And I was just like, you know what? It's not working. It's not happening. Well, you guys probably every leader you've seen on stage has been there at some point where they were not going to do it. Right. And what happened was somebody said at every party, I want you to ask every person. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm a jackass, sorry, but I was like, fine, I'll show you. I'll prove to you that I can ask everybody and nobody's going to want to join. That's how I was. Okay. Because we're talking years ago, Sherry.
I know.
So I went into my party and I asked everybody. And sure enough, towards the end, quiet girl comes up, sits down, and I say, okay, yeah, would you like to join my team? Right. And I'm not even being good, right? Like I'm not even sharing the benefits. I'm just doing this to purely prove someone wrong. And sure enough, she looks at me and she says yes. And I was like, okay, that's great. And I go, did you just say yes? She was like, yeah, I really love the food. And I have a lot of friends who would like to cook. And I think I could do this. And she was the quietest one, never said a word the whole party. And I was like, interesting. So she joined my team and she was on my team for a very long time. And so if you're sitting there looking like it's just Sherry, it's just Adrienne, Sherry and Adrienne had to make a decision. Everyone has to make a decision at some point to do something different. I did something different to prove someone wrong. And unfortunately I was proved wrong, which is usually the case as well. And so all of a sudden I realized if I asked people join my team, and that's all it took.
Yeah.
So I challenge you, like Sherry was just saying too, like you get caught up in the minutia of host coaching, of booking parties, of selling. Ask your host to join. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, oh, I got to ask somebody today. Who should I ask? And I've been working with a host for 3 days and never once did I ask her to join my team just because I was doing host coaching. I wasn't putting her there, you know, or somebody calls me for an order and I'm just like, hey, you call me for an order a lot. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? I mean, it's that simple. It doesn't have to be some big, people want to give all the details and it's just to ask. You love the product. You seem like a nice person. You're super chatty. You're got lots of friends, whatever. There's a million reasons. So I definitely, Sherry, that's just it. It's all about setting a new goal for yourself. And what is that
Right.
goal going to be? And that's really all it is, because I didn't get to sponsor this many by doing the same thing I did over and over again in the beginning. I grew by growing, by asking people every day, by asking people at that party that first day and somebody saying yes and me going, wait, I don't even know that I want a team. Why did she just say yes? Like now I got to figure this part out, right? But that's what we're all here to do, is support each other figuring that out, because that's the fun part. That's the part where we all get to have fun. So yeah, I know that's not totally, but does anybody have questions about Bravo Bucks, like how they work, anything? Because I will also happily answer those, because I know I didn't get really in depth with that, but I really feel like the number one thing to get you some of those big bonuses is to just change your outlook on getting people to come along. And Connie, I loved her terminology. Come along to my food community. Come be a foodie with my foodie friends, right? Like, this does not have to, we don't have to use the words that we've always used, even though it is a team and we all work together. It's a food community. That's what it is. Like Lisa just sitting here sharing all the food and all of us going, oh, I'm gonna try that. I need to put it on my turkey next time, right? Like,
Right.
we're foodies.
I love it. And Adrienne, just to remind everybody, and I think you touched on it, but $50 when that new consultant gets to 500. And if I am not correct, Adrienne, correct me, those points don't get taken away.
Never.
Like
So
that person
I have, yeah,
may
I
quit, or I
even,
mean, something happens or whatever, you get 50 points as long as they get to 500. And Adrienne said, one new consultant do her blast off party or help her with her own party, and he or she can get to 500, boom, $50.
yep. And that's just it. I've had a lot of people who had their first party and they're liking it and they're still going.
Yeah.
But I did have one who had his party and he was like, I don't like this. And he even deactivated, but you still get the $50 in points. They do not go away, whether they fall to perks, deactivate, any of that stuff.
So that's awesome.
So,
Well, Adrienne, fantastic. Last call if you have a question for Adrienne.
I
Well-
like how you said that, come be a foodie with my foodie friends.
right?
There you go.
It's a perfect way to ask.
Well, and some people get all cut, like we talked about that on the diamond call, Sherry, about like people getting caught up in the party word, like have a party. So have a kitchen gathering. I just want you to bring 6 friends to your kitchen and we're gonna have a kitchen gathering, right? We're saying the same thing, just differently. So a foodie community is just a team that sells food, but it sounds more new age, right? Sounds more
Happy
intriguing.
hour. Yeah, happy hour, food gather or kitchen gathering, whatever.
You know,
Just
we
whatever
should
gets you excited. I mean, that's the bottom word.
We should
bottom
touch on
line.
these words, because I was in my head about this party thing too the other day. Like, how, like, what am I saying to people? How do I get this to work?
Yeah,
Right.
maybe
And that's
change
the thing.
verbiage.
It really doesn't matter what you say. It's like what Sherry said, what you're excited about and what you're comfortable with. So when people aren't comfortable with the word party and they keep saying it, it's not going to make it better. So change the word, right? Like, just
Right.
like they did with recruiting, like everybody's like, oh, recruiting sounds so like, whatever. So they changed it to sponsor. It's the same thing. You're still doing the same thing. They just changed the word. So whatever word doesn't sit well with you, like, oh, I don't like the word goal. Okay. So give yourself a fun challenge. Okay. Like, right?
Yes.
Like, it doesn't matter what the word is. It just matters what the actions are that you're taking.
True, true.
Perfect, perfect. Well, Adrienne, I know you've had a long night. You had your own call. So thank you for hopping on with us and sharing your expertise and your enthusiasm. I'm going to stop the recording.